Hello everybody, it has been a minute. Okay, well actually it's been like 2 years. But I have missed you guys. I'm very excited to be back behind the mic and talk about Juventus. You know, to be honest, life got very busy for me. It got really hectic, so I needed a break to kind of refocus and everything. But, my passion for this topic, passion for Juventus, passion for football, never gone away. So here I am picking up where I left off and hopefully try to take it to the next level by actually committing to it and being here every week. All right, so let's get right into this podcast episode. So let's get right into it, huh? First thing we're going to talk about here, we have to touch on Juventus this summer. All the signings that they're expecting, all the signings we're expecting to depart, all the signings that I would like to see the club make. We're going to get into that right now because there's so much going on. There's a lot of controversy. Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? All right? The first thing we got to touch on is Dusan Vlahovic, okay? This guy has been not lived up to par, let's just put it that way. I'll put it nicely, since he's arrived from Fiorentina. But yet the guy remains to be our top goal scorer each season. This season, for example, our top goal scorer, and he played the first half of the season. Second half of the season, he didn't really play that much because we had Kolo Muani plus his injuries. Kolo Muani, I feel like if we had him from the beginning of the season, would have outplayed Dusan Vlahovic. But let's not get too far off the topic here, okay? We got to talk about his sale. He wants to leave the club, apparently. He's not been happy, all right? And we're going to touch on this. So I initially thought that Vlahovic was making $12 million a year, which was a lot. I thought it was a lot. I mean, initially, for what he's doing, I don't think he's worth the $12 million a year. But I just found out from Gab Marcotti at ESPN, he put out an article about how come Juventus is having such a hard time to sell Dusan Vlahovic and Napoli is having such a hard time to sell Victor Osimhen. For Vlahovic, it is rumored, according to Gab Marcotti, this is from him directly. So it's not really a rumor, but this is credible from him. That Dusan Vlahovic, when he first signed from Fiorentina, he's making $14 million a season gross for the first 2 years, I believe, of his contract. The last 2 seasons, the salary would jump up to 24 million euros a year. That is insane. According to this ESPN article, if he were in the Premier League right now, he would be second highest earner behind Erling Haaland. How can we pay Dusan Vlahovic this much money? I don't care how much talent they saw when they first signed him. That is insane. That's almost the level of what Cristiano Ronaldo was making. And he's nowhere near Cristiano Ronaldo's level. Okay, let's be honest about that. It's just more more ammunition as to why I think this club is in shambles with the management and everything since Andrea Agnelli had to resign and everything. It's just been complete shambles at this club. I mean, it doesn't make sense, the stuff that they do, decision making and everything. But I digress. One thing that I do want to touch on now, following that Dusan Vlahovic little spiel that I just went on, is I am very happy that they got rid of Thiago Motta. I am very happy that they got rid of Christian Giuntoli. Giuntoli was number 1 on my list. It wasn't even so much Thiago Motta, but Thiago Motta, even though he did piss a lot of us off with the decisions he made in some of our defeats and his comments that he made too, aside from that, I think Giuntoli was the main person to blame. I mean, you are our sporting director. You cannot do what you have done to this club. I've said it from the beginning of the season. I was to some of my close friends and family. You know, I really think Giuntoli was an undercover person from Napoli that was sent to ruin our club. Makes no sense. I mean, the signings he made, the people he sold, it makes no sense. And then Thiago Motta, another one from Inter. I feel like they were sent him in here to sabotage our club. I mean, this year has been atrocious, but again, I'm not going to get into all that because the season's over. We know what happened already. I want to just focus on what's happening now, what they should do going forward, and what I would like to see, actually, to go forward. So let's get right into that. Okay, let's see if I can calm down a little bit. I couldn't even really think of what to say after going on that tangent about Dusan Vlahovic and his salary. But this next segment, I just want to get into the Juventus roster right now, today, June 12th. And what I would like to see happen with the players. Who I would like to keep, who I would like them to sell, who I'd like to replace them in the lineup. That'll come later in the segment, but I just want to touch on this. So let's start with the goalkeeper, shall we? So we have Pinsoglio. Haven't even maybe played a minute. Maybe he played. I don't think he's played a minute actually this season under Thiago Motta. I have to double check that to see if that's true. But I think he might not even have played a minute, which I think is a shame. I love Pinso. He should be playing in the Coppa Italia. At the very least. I mean, come on, this guy's been here forever. He's been a loyal servant. The guy's happy to be a backup and just be a motivational speaker to these players. I mean, let's give him a little more respect than not even playing him one single minute or one game. Okay, next player, Mattia Perin. Although I would like to keep him, because I think he's a sensational backup and I think he's a great keeper, he's going to leave probably because, and I'm not surprised, because what I'm most surprised is that he stayed this long, because he should be a starter. He would be a starter on many Serie A teams. So, I mean, I'm actually surprised that he stayed this long. But if he leaves, that's fine. You sell him, maybe recoup a little bit of money off of him, that's fine. I'm not mad at that. Di Gregorio, you just signed him from Monza on a permanent deal, right? Apparently there's a lot of interest from Premier League sides in Di Gregorio. He had a good season with us. I mean, I wouldn't call him a top superstar keeper that we're all used to. I mean, we were really spoiled with Gianluigi Buffon for all these years. So, I mean, it's really hard to say he's such a great keeper. For me, I've struggled in that sense. I've just always been able to, as good as he might have been, for me, just because we've always used to have Buffon playing and how good he was, it's just so easy for me to see mistakes that these other goalies make now, which is not fair to them. But, I mean, that's just, it's hard for me to look past that when we had the best keeper of all time playing for us for so long. But anyway, if an offer comes in for Di Gregorio, I would say to sell him. I would take him, especially because Gianluigi Donnarumma is rumored to be leaving, and it's rumored that PSG are only going to look for about 45 million for a GG. So, I mean, he's the best keeper in the world, I think, today, in my opinion. Donnarumma, that is. So if you sell Di Gregorio and you can recover like 25, 30 million, I think that's a great deal to replace him with Donnarumma, even if you have to dish out an extra 15, 20 million. I think that's a great deal. So that would kind of be like a 20 million euro signing. Okay. Moving on from the keepers, let's go to the defenders. All right. We have Alberto Costa. Absolutely at all costs keep this kid. When he first signed in January, I was so happy. I was watching some of his highlights, and the kid has a lot of potential. And he just started playing towards the end of the season, and you can see the potential when he's on the field. I think this kid has a really high ceiling, and I would like to keep him, and I'd like to have him playing some more. Bremer, center back. He's coming back from his injury. I don't know how he's going to be. He was one of the best defenders in the Serie A up until his injury. So he took a long time to recover from this ACL injury. So, I mean, we'll see how he comes back. I hope he comes back just as strong. But I don't know. I mean, those injuries are tough to be out of the game so long. But I have hope for Bremer. So, obviously, we'll keep him. I would like to keep him anyway. Gatti, I would like to keep him. There's rumors that he was linked for moves away, Napoli and whoever else. I would keep Gatti. I mean, I just think we need to look into the future and try to have more Italian players also. So, I mean, Gatti is one of those players. I mean, he's a national team player. He's a true defender. He's not great with the ball at his feet, and I've complained all season about him, about his mistakes, the passes to the other team for them to score, the own goals, stuff like that. It's just too many mistakes. But as far as true defenders go, Gatti could defend. And I'd say you keep him because it's a dying breed. True defenders are a dying breed. I mean, you look at Inter's Bastoni. Gatti to me is a better defender than Bastoni. Bastoni is better with the ball. He's good going forward, and I think that's where he gets all of his accolades and all of his all the hype around him just comes from his ability to move forward and to go forward up the pitch and his ability on the ball. So I would keep Gatti. Lloyd Kelly. Oh my gosh. When we signed Lloyd Kelly in January, after letting go Danilo and terminating that guy's contract, the captain of Juventus, the only one with the experience in the locker room that knows what it took to be a Juventino and to fight on the field, on the pitch, they cut his contract. I don't care if it was Thiago Motta who's pushing for him to leave. As the sporting director, Cristiano Giuntoli, how do you cut and terminate a contract when you're already short on center backs in that position, and you guys are struggling anyway? So you terminate his contract. Then we had all the injuries. The only available player was Gatti for a little bit because he played every game. Then he ended up getting hurt. So then we had only Lloyd Kelly, who they signed for $20 million from Newcastle. Insane. Newcastle was probably laughing the entire time. And even now, they're probably laughing even harder. I mean, he is awful. I remember the first game he played when he came over from Newcastle. He started. He went against Strefezza. Strefezza destroyed him every time. I was like, oh my God. But yet we're letting go of Houston for $15 million. Who later I found out we got 25 apparently, if we can take Cristiano Giuntoli's word because of the bonuses or whatever. Still, and now Real Madrid signed him for big money. I mean, it makes no sense. And then you had Danilo, who you could have kept on a free, who was actually, I thought, a pretty decent defender. Yeah, he was on the decline, but he's way better than Lloyd Kelly, let's be honest. I would have kept him. It would have been free. Instead, you're spending $20 million on Lloyd Kelly. And the clause for this is insane. The option to buy became mandatory as long as Juve didn't get relegated. I mean, come on, Giuntoli. What is that? That is a joke. Of course we're not going to get relegated. That's an easy buy option. At that point, you should just loan them. Just straight up loan and send them back. I mean, he's awful. They need to sell him. I don't care if they just sell him for $5 million. Just get rid of this guy. He's awful. He's not a Juventus quality player. It's embarrassing to see him wear this kit. All right, we just signed Kalulu from Milan. We made that deal permanent. I think it's around 14 million euros. They made it permanent. So that was a good signing because that's cheap, given the market of today that all these clubs are paying for players. I think that's a pretty decent price for him, granted, given the way he played and given the fact that he won a Serie A title with Milan. Cambiaso, absolutely at all costs keep him. I don't care if Man City comes around knocking and saying they're going to offer 70 million for him. He's an Italy international. When he's on the pitch, you can see the quality he has. He is so versatile. He can play outside back. He plays outside mid. He can swap in and play in center mid. He can play on the wing up top. He can play behind the striker. I mean, this kid is so versatile. Reminds me of another player that was underrated and didn't get appreciated enough in Federico Bernardeschi when he was with us. But I'll digress. I will not start with Bernardeschi. Next player we have Juan Cabal. He's another one. Is coming off a big injury. I thought he started the season really well. I was actually really had high hopes for this guy. So, but again, I like Bremer. I don't know how he's going to come back and from this injury. I hope he comes back really strong and just as good because he's at his prime age. So I think he could, but we'll see what happens. Nicola Savona, they just signed him to a new deal in 2030, which I think is huge. I mean, again, Italian young right back, and he could play center back too if you really need him to. And he's so young. I mean, this kid has room to grow, and he's an Italian. He was an Italian international. He got selected at one point, but I think this kid's going to be really good for the national team. So that's a good signing to renew his contract to 2030. Now you got Rui. I didn't really care for him. He looked very nervous on the ball. I mean, younger player, it's fine, but he just looks so nervous when he's on the pitch for us. And we don't need players like that. You need players that are going to be calm, composed, and can handle the pressure of wearing this shirt. And I don't think Rui has that right now at this moment. So I think the best thing for him would be to go out on loan, personally. All right, enough with defenders. Let's go to the midfield. Locatelli. You got to keep him. He performed really well towards the end of the season. I mean, I still think he can play better, but he has improved a lot since what I was used to. Because in the beginning of the season and even last season, I was like, oh my God, maybe it's time to part ways with Locatelli. But let me just say, He's a warrior. He's the captain sometimes for us. I mean, he has a lot of fight in him. So, I mean, I think you got to keep him. Next, you got Toon Coop Miners. As I've been calling them, Poop Miners toward the end of the season. And actually, not even toward the end of the season, for a long part of the season. Probably like since the very beginning. I have text threads to back that up. But my God, this guy, what a waste. Talk about one of Giuntoli's worst signings. This is it. And he played every game. How do you play somebody who's that bad? I mean, there was moments where he was trying to flick and he hit himself in the face. I mean, this guy is awful. Was awful. And they paid $60 million to Atalanta for him. Atalanta made out like bandits with this transfer. I'm hoping under a new manager, maybe, and a new season, we will see Coop Miners play a little better. That's all I'm expecting. I'm not expecting, some crazy turnaround where he's going to be a top midfielder in the world, because I don't know if that's going to happen from, let's be honest. But everybody had high hopes for this guy because he scored 8 goals or whatever it was for Atalanta the season before. Goals are not what makes these players, okay? I mean, just because Coop Miners scores 8 goals as a midfield player, does that make it a reason for everybody to go want to sign the guy for 60, 70 million? No. We don't know if he's going to score 8 goals again next season. He could score 10. He could score none. I mean, look, this season he scored what? Maybe 1 in open play and 1 a free kick or whatever the case may be, and then he scored another one, I think, after when Tudor. Okay. But out of all the games he played, didn't contribute that much. Okay? The guy's non-existent. He wasn't involved. It's like he's walking around, he's trotting around at the same pace all the time. It was so frustrating to watch. I'm like, can this guy sprint? Can he run any faster? I mean, it's the same pace the entire time. He's so slow. I mean, how can you have somebody on the pitch like that? Everybody was also praising his ability to play the ball, his playmaking ability, his set pieces. I wasn't impressed. Okay? I'll leave it at that. I wasn't impressed. I don't think they're going to get $60 million back for this guy. It's going to definitely be a loss. But, I mean, if you can sell him or potentially include him as a trade deal for somebody, maybe that's an option. I mean, otherwise, if you keep him, I don't think the guy can start right away. The guy's got to be a bench player. I don't care if you spend $60 million on him and it's like, oh, we spent $60 million for a bench player. It is what it is. You made a mistake. You got to deal with it. You can't play somebody who sucks just because you spent a lot of money on them. It doesn't make sense to me. Next, let's move on. Let's go to Wes. Wes is a player, since he joined Juventus, that I've really liked. And I've said it time and time again, how McKennie has been our best midfielder every year. And every year for the past couple years, there's been rumors about selling McKennie. He's not good enough. He's not going to make it in the coach's plans. But every year so far, for the past couple years, he has proved the coaches and everybody else wrong. Once again, our best midfielder this season, aside from one player who started playing in the second half of the season, where if he played since the first minute of the season and played the way he had, I would have said he was our best midfielder. But McKennie, you keep him. I mean, he's another versatile player. Can play center mid, can play left mid, can play right back, can play left back. I mean, this guy can play anywhere. Very versatile, and he gives his all. I love it. He works really hard. He gets too much hate, and it's disrespectful because this guy is put in shifts for us. Every time he comes on the pitch, he works really, really hard. Okay? And I think like I said, I think he's one of the best performers in the midfield when he plays. So he's definitely one I would keep. Let's move on. Let's go to Douglas Luiz. Another Giuntoli masterclass, if you want to call it, in signing. Oh my God. $40 million for Douglas Luiz, who played less than 10 games maybe? I mean, my God, awful decision again to sign this guy, Giuntoli. I mean, I like Douglas Luiz. I think he's got quality. But the guy never played. When he did play, he came in for the last 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time. It's hard to adapt to the pace of a game, especially a high-intensity game when you're coming on. I mean, there were some games where he was coming on, it was really high-intensity games. He came on towards the end, and he gave away a penalty right away or something like that. I mean, it's really hard for these players to adapt, especially in a role like that where You kind of expect him to run back and forth as a midfielder and get right involved into the play. So, I mean, I'm not trying to excuse him, but the guy is probably the best midfielder we have on the ball. I mean, technicality-wise, I mean, if you watch this guy, if you watch some highlights, whatever, I mean, it's there. His technicality is there. I think he wasn't given enough freedom when he was on the ball, when he was on the pitch the few times that he did play, to try to create as much as he could have. I think he's a pretty good creator on the ball. I mean, hopefully with the new coach, like I said, I don't think so, because Tudor had him at his disposal on the bench toward the end of the season, and he really didn't use him either. So, I mean, I don't know what's in store for Douglas Luiz. It seems like he's probably not going to play unless he does something really crazy. But I remember Douglas Luiz in the preseason last season. He played every game, and he was like our best midfielder in the preseason. Then when the season started, I don't know what happened, but that's where the Thiago Motta train started going downhill. Okay? And it turned into what it did. So I wouldn't be opposed to keeping Douglas Luiz, at least for another season, just to see how he does. But I mean, if you can offer him in an exchange deal for somebody of good quality, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I mean, I like him as much as I want him to stay and do well. I think maybe a change of scenery might benefit him, you know. But then we got the young teenage talent, Adzic. Call him a midfielder, call him a forward, whatever. I mean, I think he's probably like plays right behind the striker kind of player. He didn't really have a chance to shine this year, so I mean, but I saw in his recent national game. I mean, he did pretty good. He scored a goal in his in the last national game that he played for his country. So I mean, he's another player that I would keep. I mean, you never know. I mean, we have young talent, and I think we have to use them. So he'd be someone to just keep and look an eye out for, and keep an eye out on and look out for this coming season. All right, let's move on to the forwards and wingers, shall we? Let's go to Francisco Conceição. All right. Well, I have mixed feelings about this one because I like Conceição, but he holds on to the ball way too long, I think. I mean, the kid could be a really good winger. I mean, he's short, which is probably the disadvantage, you know, in the air, all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, the guy is fast. He's a quick player. And he's pretty good on the ball. He's not too bad on the ball. For $30 million for the buyout to be this summer, I think I would take it. He's what, 20, 21, 22 years old, whatever it is. He's still so young. There's such potential upside for this kid if he gets the proper training. If he could just release the ball a little quicker, I think you're going to see a tremendous difference with this kid. And at the end of the season, you saw his work ethic with Tudor. You saw a player that wanted to prove his worth. And I think maybe this season he would do pretty good with Tudor. So I would sign him. I think $30 million is a cheap bargain for a very young winger in this market. So, I mean, I don't even think it's even a question. I would just say pull the trigger, $30 million, sign him. Let's move on to Kenan Yildiz, our superstar, our gem. Got to keep him at all costs. Unless some crazy figure comes in, you keep this kid. I mean, this kid's got talent. He's got potential. I mean, Szczesny was the one that said a couple years ago when he was with the squad that he's going to, within 5 years, whatever he expects to see Yildiz on the top player, maybe contending for a Ballon d'Or. I don't know if I wouldn't go that far just yet, but the kid's got potential. It's evident. It's clear to see. I mean, every game he plays, he's just fun to watch. When he gets the ball, I mean, you become attentive to the screen. You just want to see what he's capable of. He's a game changer. He can change the game in a moment. We saw it against Inter when he came on off the bench. But another player that Thiago Motta fell out of sorts with. Okay. Oh, before I move on, I just realized I didn't touch on Thuram. Khéphren Thuram, our best midfielder right now. Right now. I know I said before that Wes was our best midfielder, and he was. I stand by that. He was for the first part of the season. Second half of the season, when Khéphren Thuram started getting more game time and started playing, and he made it a point to be able, or rather, to have the coach pick him in the side. Khéphren Thuram is one of our best midfielders. if he's probably the best midfielder, I believe, right now, given the way the season ended and the way he's been playing. I mean, this kid's good, and he's got potential, and he has the passion to play for this shirt because of the history there with his father. All right, let's go back to the forwards. Nico Gonzalez, one player that I was really excited for. I was super, super excited for Nico in the beginning of the season. I mean, I like him. He's so energetic. He has some decent pace. You know, he works really hard. He did pretty good at Fiorentina. I mean, this season, he had some struggles. He did have some struggles. He scored some goals, but he also had a lot of struggles. He had some injury problems in the beginning, too. But one thing you cannot take away from this guy is his work ethic. I think he tries really, really hard. Another versatile player. He ended up playing wing back, I think, at one point for us for a little bit. He played behind the 10, played a striker at one point. I mean, another kind of versatile player. But $40 million for him, I think is a little excessive. I think it's a little big, too big of a price tag for Nico. So, unfortunately, I think maybe if you got an option to sell him, you might have to recoup some of that money. But you can't take, again, if they keep him, I'm okay with it also because his work ethic is just second to none. He has a great work ethic. So he works hard for the shirt. Can't knock him for that. Let's go with the striker. Arkadiusz Milik. Where has he been? I don't know. Where's he been? This guy's been hurt for like 5 years. No. He probably played like a couple of games, maybe a handful of games when he was healthy for us. I mean, and then he's been out for like 2 years, I feel like now. I think maybe 2 years. Coming up on 2 years, something like that. This guy, he's done. His career's done. I mean, and his wage is killing us too. I mean, he's one of the highest earners at the club, and he's not playing. He's got to go. I don't care if they terminate. That should have been something that Giuntoli worked on. Instead of terminating Danilo's contract, you should have worked to terminate Milik's contract. This guy is a joke. He's bad. He's done. Maybe he was a good player when he was younger, when he didn't have these injury setbacks. Not anymore. He can't be wearing this shirt. He's got to go. All right. Let's go to Tim Weah. Let's move on to him next. I have mixed feelings about this. You know, Weah is another one, because of his name, you know, there's high expectations and you put him into a different bracket and you have so much more pressure on him because of the way his father played in the Serie A when he was playing. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Weah's definitely got pace. You can't take that away from him. He scored some screamers for us, yes. I don't know. I mean, maybe you keep him if he's okay with being a bench player and just being able to come on like whenever we need, you know, a change of pace on the wings or somebody to, you know, if we have injury problems like we did this season, I wouldn't mind that. Otherwise, I don't see Weah staying with Juve. I don't know if he's the quality player that we need to wear this shirt. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Let's go to Mbangula. Youngster. Really, really exciting youngster. This is one player that I have to give Thiago Motta credit for playing. I mean, Mbangula, in the beginning of the season, Mbangula, whatever you want to call him. This guy, this kid, because he's a kid, he surprised me. I mean, he did. He scored some important goals for us. And that says a lot for a young talent putting on a shirt with this much pressure that comes with it. He did really well. I hate to see him go, but the rumors are that they're looking to sell him to make a profit off of him. You know, there's some Premier League clubs interested in him. I think they're looking to get around like 25 mil, somewhere around there. According to the rumors that I read, I don't know how accurate they are, but I mean, the figures are TBD, but I mean, they are looking to sell him too. I think it's a big mistake. I would keep him. I mean, he's a young talent. Like I said, he scored some vital goals for us. So I would keep him. But again, Tudor hasn't played him much since he became the manager, so I don't know how well he likes him. So he might ask him to be sold. We'll see. All right, let's go to the last topics here. We'll go to our center forwards, our last two that I haven't touched on. We have Dusan Vlahovic, who I kind of touched on briefly in our last segment about his ridiculously, insanely high salary. But also, how I think it wouldn't be a bad thing to keep Dusan Vlahovic, I think. If he restructures his contract, that's key. You can't be staying at Juventus making $24 million a year for the rest of your contract. That is an insane figure. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, if I'm a player on that team and I see Dusan Vlahovic, who can't even control a soccer ball and who keeps falling over himself, he trips over himself when he's running. I mean, if I see that as a player, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be making some drama, making some noise. You know, I mean, because that's not right. How can he make $24 million and other players like Thuram or somebody like that who's playing insane make like a fraction of that? It's not right. So, if Vlahovic restructures his contract, I would say if he could take like $7 million a season, which is a huge downgrade from $24 million a season, but he's not worth it. I think $7 million for his talent, because he's got talent. I think $7 million is a good offer, but it remains to be seen whether he's going to restructure it, whether Juventus is going to even offer that to him to restructure for that low. I don't know, but there are rumors that he's going to be sold. He's on the market. He wants to leave. He made it clear. So unless something happens, drastic turn of events where he's just like, oh, you know what, I'm going to stay, I'm going to restructure my contract, I can see Vlahovic going, which I'm okay with as well. I don't know about the transfer fee. I mean, that's an issue here. So, I mean, I think Juve values him at like $45 million. I mean, which is only right given they spent $80 million on him when they signed from Fiorentina. But I don't think they're going to get that now, especially the way he's playing. He's not playing good at all. Even though he's a good talent, he's still young, he's in his prime, I still don't think you're going to get that much, especially with the salary that he's carrying with him. So, I mean, if you can take $20 million for him, $25 million for him, I would say do it. You know, I would say do it. I know Milan are looking to sign him. I think he said no to Fenerbahce. I think he wants a big club, but you're not going to get paid that much, so you got to take a pay cut. So, I mean, if you want a big club, you should just stay here and take the pay cut and shut your mouth. That's what I think. But you want to go, be my guest, I would sell him. So that's my take on Vlahovic. Let's move on to our last center forward, Kolo Muani, our loanee from PSG. Now, when he first signed, I was so excited. So excited. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's going to light it up. He's going to light it up. And I'm going to be honest, I think he's done really well. I think there's maybe even only 2 games that I can remember since he's joined that he's played in that maybe he was kind of like a non-factor in. Other than that, the guy's been good. His hold-up play is good. He can interchange with some players in the build-up. He can get out wide. You know, he has some moves to take players on. He's got a lot of pace where Vlahovic doesn't. So, I mean, this is a guy where the $40 million price tag, or $50 million, I think. Actually, I'm sorry, it was $50 million that PSG, I believe, is rumored to want for him after the end of the season. Juve was looking to extend his loan for this season. They definitely are keeping him from the Club World Cup, which is great. I think Kolo Muani has to be a Juventus player. I mean, he's came out, he wants to stay. Apparently, he's said all this stuff about wanting to stay, wanting to be a part of the club. He's happy in Turin and all this stuff. So, I mean, if you can make it happen, I would make it happen. The only downside to this, and the only problem I have with it, is you already paid a loan fee for him. And I think it was around $10 million. I gotta double check, but I'm pretty sure it was around $10 million. There's going to be another loan fee associated if you sign this guy. And then the buyout's supposed to, rumored to be the same. So essentially, if you sign this guy next season, it's going to be worth 70 million euro. That's a lot, I think. So I think you got to negotiate. Either you buy him now for the 50 or whatever it is. If you can negotiate a little lower deal, that's fine. Otherwise, you got to negotiate a lower deal for next summer. Okay, but he's definitely a player. He's got to stay. Definitely got to keep Kolo Muani. Okay, if we had him this whole season, I think we would have been in a different situation. And dare I say, we would have been competing for the title. Because let's be honest, the amount of chances that Vlahovic missed the first half of the season were point deciders. Okay, were deciders between getting full 3 points and getting 1 point. Okay, so if we had Kolo Muani, I'm almost confident we'd be in a different. I'm like 99% confident we'd be in a different situation than we are right now. We wouldn't have had to fight for top 4. I think we'd have been pretty close to the top of the summit. All right, next segment. I just talked to you now in this segment about what I would do with the current players. This next segment, I'm gonna get into what I would like the next year's lineup to look like and what players I would like them to bring in, if it's even feasible. I'll go through my dream signings for this club and what it's going to look like, and then I will go through what's probably feasible for this club and what makes sense for them in terms of signing that I believe they should do. Okay, welcome back. Let's get into this next segment. My lineups, my dream signings, and probable signings that will happen. Or, not probable signings, I should say signings that I would like them to make. Okay, my dream signings. All right, let's get into it. So we all know that Juventus have decided to stick with Tudor for next season. If you didn't hear about that before, you didn't know, now you do. Okay, so they are sticking with him till the end for this upcoming season. We know that Tudor likes to play a 3-4-2-1 formation. That's his preferred formation. So given what I know about his formation and what he prefers to play, I'm going to go through a lineup that I would love to see. This is my dream lineup here, okay? It's probably not going to happen because it's a lot of money involved. But you never know. In football, you can never say never, right? All right, let's go start with the keeper. So I had Gigi Donnarumma as a starting goalkeeper and Pinso as his backup for now, okay? Unless an opportunity comes and, they have a youth goalkeeper they can bring up, I wouldn't mind seeing that either and develop him, okay? Let's go to the back three. I would play Gatti, Bremer, and Comuzzo. That is my 3-back lineup that I would like to see this season, my dream signings for this season, okay? To back up Gatti, you have Kalulu. To back up Comuzzo, you have Leone. And to back up Bremer, you got Cabal. And you can alternate the positions there, however, it doesn't matter. But those would be my 6 center backs for that system. Let's move to the 4 midfielders, shall we? Let's start on the right wing. So there, I would play Cambiaso. Cambiaso is very good going forward. He's not bad defensively as well, so I would play him on that wing. To come in for him, I would sign Bellanova to back him up. I like Bellanova. He's got pace. He's a tall player, and he's physical. So, I think, and he's pretty good on the wing from what I watched. So I would like to see him back up Cambiaso if that was the case. In the midfield, my midfield 2, obviously you got to have Locatelli starting and Thuram starting. I wouldn't touch the midfield and make any signings just because I think we have a lot of players there and we don't need to. So for now, I would start them 2, McKennie backing them up, as well as Douglas Luiz if he stays. I think that would be my ideal midfield 2 in the center. On left mid, see, this is where now I'm starting to dream, right? Nico Williams, okay? I've been saying I want this kid for so long. His buyout clause is so cheap. Come on, I think it's like around 70 million, I think, if reports are correct. That's not bad. This kid's so young. He is so prolific. He's exciting to watch. No injury problems to date. I would throw whatever money we got from the Champions League, the 60 million that we said we got for making top 4, I would throw that at Nico Williams to play on the left side. My God. I just imagine seeing Nico Williams on the I can't even, because it's just, that would be my dream signing for a wing player. I love Nico Williams. I think he's such a great player. All right, let's move on to back Nico Williams up. If you keep Nico Gonzalez, you got Nico Gonzalez there. All right, let's go to the center attacking mids, the 2 players that play right behind the striker. So obviously Yildiz is going to have to play there with a lot of freedom to go wherever he wants. And to back Yildiz up, I have Pafundi from Udinese, young Italian talent. I really like him. I've liked him for a long time. I think it's sad that he's not getting enough playtime at Udinese and they opt to play a 40-year-old Alexis Sanchez. But that's a whole nother story, okay? All right, opposite of Yildiz, I think I would sign Zaccagni. He's available. I think we were rumored to him, I think was last year or maybe a couple years ago. We were linked to him. Now I think we can get him for a fairly reasonable price. So I wouldn't mind seeing Zaccagni come as kind of a playmaker role behind the striker. I think he did really good for Lazio this year. So, I think that would be good. And to back him up, you have Koop Miners. Okay? For my forward, dream forward, it's never going to happen because it's too much money, but Victor Osimhen from Napoli. I mean, this guy's expressed his interest in Juve. He's expressed that he wants to play for us. He wants to come, but Aurelio De Laurentiis will not sell him to us, let's be honest. And plus, he's too expensive for us, given all the other signings we have to make and the financial turmoil we're in because of none other than Cristiano Giuntoli. Okay, but to back Osimhen up, I did have Kolo Muani to back him up for a season. Now, that would be my dream lineup next season. I'm going to post this to my X feed, to my X page, and along with my next lineup that's probably more doable and more feasible for the upcoming season. But you guys can let me know what you think about that. Make comments. What changes would you make? Is it completely ridiculous? I mean, some players that you wouldn't even want to see there at all. But whatever. You let me know. I will post it in there as well. All right. So now let's get into this 3-4-2-1 lineup. That's the most probable, where I think it actually could happen. And this is what I would like to see because it definitely could happen. So in goal, I would definitely like Gigio. I mean, come on, I think it's a steal. You got to sell Di Gregorio for at least 20, 25 and throw another 20 for Gigio. I mean, national team player, best goalkeeper in the world right now, you got to. I think you have to. Given our history of having the best goalkeeper of all time and great goalkeepers, you got to do this, okay? I'm not trying to disrespect Di Gregorio because he's, like I said, he did good this season. But if it's Di Gregorio or Donnarumma, I'm taking Donnarumma every day. All right, let's go to the back three. We got Gatti, Bremer, and Comuzzo. Okay, definitely got to play it. Same back three that I had in my other lineup. I think you got to do it. You got to buy Comuzzo. Okay, we need some defenders. We need center backs, and Italy has a track record creating masterful, powerful, world-class center backs. So Comuzzo's so young, he fits the mold. He did really good at Fiorentina this year. I think you got to sign him. Now, I also think you got to sign Leone from Parma. And I think there was a rumor that I saw, but I don't know if the figures are correct, but it's around 30 million that Parma are wanting for him, for Leone. Leone's 18 years old. A lot of potential. I liked what he did at Parma. I would definitely sign him too. It's a feasible sign, okay? Not bad. All right. Kalulu obviously can back up one of them. Savona can back up the other, okay? It doesn't matter. That's what I think. And so you only got to make really 2 center back signings, which I think is totally doable. Let's move to the midfield. Again, the midfield you don't really have to touch because we've had so many players, and Giuntoli made sure we had a full squad of center mids basically last season. So, I mean, I don't think you really have to touch that too much and make any signings. So, in the center mids, you still have Locatelli and Thuram starting, and you got McKinney and Douglas Luiz backing them up because that's what we have available. There's no need to touch that if you don't need to. Unless you can sell Douglas Luiz, then you sell him and you keep Miretti. Okay, you keep Miretti at all costs because I like Miretti. All right. Left mid, I would put Cambiaso. Cambiaso can play both flanks. Doesn't have a really preferred strong foot, if you will. He's really good with both feet. So you play him on the left. You got Nico to back him up, I think. All right? And on the other side, I would sign Bellanova from Atalanta if it's feasible. Okay? I don't think they can ask for too much for him. I can't see them asking for too much for him. So, I mean, and I like Bellanova a lot, like I said. Another Italian player. And he's going to be on that right wing. So that would be a good signing. And I think to back up Bellanova, I think if they can extend or buy Conceição, I think they should do it. All right. I just think Conceição is so young and he's such a talent that it'd be a waste not to sign him for 30 million. It's so cheap. All right. And then the front two behind the striker, obviously Yildiz. I think you could sign Pafundi. I can't imagine Udinese is going to ask for a lot. Okay. So I think you got to sign Pafundi. Okay. So you got Yildiz on one side starting. Either you start Koop Miners or you have Miretti there. Okay, Miretti can play up there as well. And if you really have extra cash to splash, I think you get Zaccagni, like I said before. I like Zaccagni. Even he's a more experienced player, so you're not technically relying on a lot of youth. Okay, so you have Zaccagni. He has the experience. I think that would be good if you have the money. If not, you still got Koop Miners. You got Yildiz. You'll have Pafundi. You'll have Miretti. Okay, I think that's awesome back there behind the striker. For the striker, You're going to keep Kolo Muani, assuming that they're going to keep him on loan for the next season and potentially even buy him. So, I mean, he's probably going to stay. So, you have to start him. Okay? We're assuming Vlahovic is gone. Okay? And to back up Kolo Muani, this is a dream signing, and it could be really feasible. And I would love to see it. It's not on their radar, but Francesco Camarda from Milan, the striker, 16-year-old talent, maybe 17 now. I would sign him. I would sign him. The few times that he played for Milan when he came in, I liked what I saw, and they are not going to play him. And there's like, I was looking at some Milan posts and stuff and stuff like that, and some people were like, oh, what team should we loan Camarda out to? I mean, this is insane. You got a talent like Francesco Camarda as a striker, and you're looking to loan him out, and you're going to give you're trying to find the next best striker. You sign Abraham last season, you sign Jimenez, you had Jovic, you had all these players you're trying to bring in when you have a kid that can play the position for you. So, if I was Juve, that's another player I'm going after. You know they're not going to ask for a crazy amount. They can't. He hasn't played. So, I mean, how can you get away with asking for an astronomical figure? So, I mean, I think that is huge, especially because we're so short on strikers, okay? So, I would have Kolo Muani starting, Francesco Camarda to back him up and come in the Coppa Italia and develop that guy. You build the team around Francesco Camarda and Kenan Yildiz. I think that's it. That's the way to go in the attack. Let me know what you think about that. I'm going to post that team to my X account too. Leave comments, whatever you want. Let me know what you think. Any changes? If I'm totally crazy in doing that and selecting these players. But I really think out of all the players I just mentioned, the one signing I really want them to make is Francesco Camarda. I really want them to make that as a strike. We have no strikers. We don't. I mean, our only true striker right now that we have on contract that's actually ours is Vlahovic. I'm not counting Milik because the guy doesn't play. He's hurt all the time. So you only have Vlahovic. And he's gone. He wants to leave. So we're going to be left with no strikers. Okay? Why not sign this upcoming Italian talent and develop him for the future? I think it would be really good. Let me know what you guys think. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's show, today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in today, especially after such a long break. It really does mean the world to me. This is just the beginning. I am back for good. I can't wait to keep sharing all this information, talking about Juventus and everything that goes along with Juventus week in, week out. You know, next week, I'm going to be diving into similar topics as today, since it is the transfer window, and also we have Club World Cup action next week starting. Juventus kickoff on Wednesday. So I will be talking about that. Trust me, you don't want to miss my critique and what I have to say about that game. So if you enjoyed this, follow me on X, on Facebook for La Fidanzata D'Italia podcast. Share it with a friend. Drop me a message. I'd love to hear what you think and what you want to hear more of on the show. So just, thanks for listening. And until next time, fino alla fine e forza Juve!